Sir, this is a telegram from General Ridgway. The 8th Army has retreated to Pyeongtaek, Ancheong, Jicheon, and Samchuk near the 37th parallel. The headquarters is near Yalu. The 8th Army has suffered little damage during the third offensive of the Chinese Communist Army.
Good. We need to conserve our strength.
General, there's one more thing. Now that Seoul has fallen, Washington is waiting for your response and explanation.
They want my explanation. I want their explanation. I told Bradley. I told Truman. I told them 1,000,000 times. We're not only up against North Korea. We're up against the Chinese as well. Those red flags. The Chinese communists are our real enemy. Maybe the fall of Seoul. Well, wake them up. Send my message to the White House.
Yes, sir!
General Marshall and I just received a telegram from General Ridgway. He doesn't think that our army suffered defeat in Korea. He says that the Chinese Communist Army have obvious shortcomings. Although he can't guarantee that we can restore freedom to the entirety of Korea, he thinks that we can hold fast to the peninsula and deliver a devastating blow.
Ridgway was a solid general on the European battlefield. He lost Seoul, but we can trust him. That's a point in his favor. I believe he has the military IQ for this fight. I propose that we send General Collins to Korea to let MacArthur and Ridgway know what the White House wants.
George, I hear you. Gentlemen, let's give Ridgway another chance.
所有的朝鲜停火三人小组啊，向连台提交关于达成朝鲜停火以及和平解决远东问题的5步方案。这是印度方面通报的材料。
只要联合国通过这个决议，美国就有可能利用停战保存实力，在南朝鲜保持陆间地区，并武装日本。你谈判就可能无限期的拖落去。所以我的意见，若是联合国通过这个先停火后谈判的提案，中国将会拒绝，并且提出家己的主张。
我同意主席的意见。这个大陆文已经背后向国会提出，要将现役的兵力增加到350万。每年要生产5万架飞机、3500架坦克，坚持侵朝战争，积极扩军备战。根据咱军委的情报，蒋介石派何应钦去东京去见密克阿瑟，上淡尾计划反攻大陆，准备动用20万到25万兵力进攻厦门线头。来配合朝鲜战场。
密克阿瑟，你拍蒋介石遐个战兵败将的主意啊？党个同志是怎样考虑的？
目前，咱31军全部集中伫厦门，咱军有3亿军的兵力伫福建，准备分2批，随时增援厦门。另外，因提出将24军由上州调去福建，甚至提出，敢用派一部空军支援。
空军准备赴朝参战，无可能过会着华东。叫大家伫厦门甲福建沿海积极布置防空。福建有4个军，我看防范已经有够啊。攻占2省沿海，也着准备对付敌人的袭击。叫24军伫上州准备。唔通去福建，华东各部队除了剿毁各部，拢需要加强整训，准备应付国民党的进攻。厦门就长期备战。
General Collins, I'm surprised to see you here today.
So am I. I didn't expect to see your HQ inside a tent.
A commander should be close to the front line and his soldiers. The gunfire keeps him sober. Just the two of us.
Yes, sir.
I saw General MacArthur yesterday in Tokyo. And he seemed very pessimistic regarding the war in Korea. Tell me the truth. How confident are you about the war?
I cannot be more confident. In fact, I think it's the right time to turn the situation around.
I believe in you. But in their eyes, you lost Seoul, you withdrew all the way to the 37th parallel, and...
Walker failed because he didn't retreat south far enough.
What do you mean?
To defeat your enemy, you must know your enemy. I've been studying the Chinese Communist Army and have arrived at a conclusion. They are the strongest rival we've ever met.
Germany and Japan were defeated by us. They got no tanks, they got no planes. How are they supposed to fight a war? Just with the soldiers?
General MacArthur and the White House think the same thing. That's why we completely failed.
Then please, give me a lesson on Chinese army.
The Chinese lack equipment and technology, but instead of weapons, they rely on tactics and strategies. They prefer the V formation, cutting us off and encircling us with their troops.
We've heard of this.
But what amazes me is their ability to execute. Whatever the mission is, they can always somehow accomplish it. For example, in the last battle, our troops on the West Line were trapped near Samsuri by one of their divisions that marched in one night over 70 kilometers. This is amazing speed.
I never heard about that. It was never in the dispatches.
Because you're too proud to learn about your enemy. Let me continue. Without heavy weapons, they march light. But in Samsuri, we couldn't budge, though we bombed them to pieces. And in the final battle of Sunggufeng, our troops' morale was so low that our soldiers even refused to attack. They are the strongest enemy we have ever met.
How could they do that?
It's their will. The more I know about them, the more surprised I get. In the Chosen Reservoir, they hid in ambush for a week. When the temperature was lower than minus 30 degrees. Our soldiers can't possibly endure that. Not even a day, let alone a week. Therefore, I've concluded. We may have the strongest Navy and Air Force, but they have the strongest infantry.
How can you be so confident? How do you plan to defeat this Red Devil army?
Because I found their Achilles heel.
Where is it?
Listen, the Chinese Communist Army has launched 3 massive offensives since last October, and I've listed the beginning and end date of each one. Please, have a look.